They never told you the truth about money. Not your parents. Not your teachers. Not the men who already have it. There is a reason the wealthy move in silence. There is a reason fortunes are built in shadows while the masses argue in sunlight. What you are about to hear was never meant for public consumption. This is not motivation. This is operation. The rules whispered in marble halls. The code carved into power itself. If you have ever wondered why some men rise while others rot in ambition, stay until the end of this revelation. But before we enter, subscribe now. Not for me. For you. Because once you see what the silent ones see, you cannot unsee it. And you will want to return to this knowledge again and again. Hit that button. You have been warned. Machiavelli never wrote about money directly. Yet every prince who read him became rich. Every courtier who understood him secured gold. Why? Because wealth is not about currency. It is about power conversion. Money does not flow to the hardest worker. It flows to the most strategically positioned mind. Let that sink in for a moment. The man who sweats is not the man who eats. The man who plans the sweat is. You have been lied to your entire life. They told you to work hard, to be honest, to wait your turn. And while you waited, someone else took the seat. Someone who understood the game beneath the game. Comment below right now. Have you ever felt like the rules of money were hidden from you? Like there was a game being played that no one explained? Say yes or no. I want to know if you feel it too. There was a banker in Florence. 1494. His name does not matter. History forgets servants. But he did something the Medici family never forgot. He lent money to both sides of a war. When the conflict ended, he was owed by everyone. The winners. The losers. The silent in between. He did not care who won. He cared who survived. And survival always needs capital. That banker never raised his voice. Never took a side in public. But when the dust cleared, he owned half the city. Not through force. Through position. Machiavelli watched this. He saw that wealth was not about morality. It was about inevitability. The question was never should you be rich. The question was always will you accept what richness requires. Now pay attention. What I am about to give you is not theory. This is architecture. The 9 principles of Machiavellian wealth. These are not steps. They are reconfigurations of how you see money, power, and position. Some will disturb you. Good. Disturbance is the first sign of awakening. Principle 1. Wealth follows silence, not noise. The poor speak about money constantly. The rich rarely mention it at all. You have seen this. The man with the loudest watch is leasing it. The woman posting her earnings is borrowing confidence. Real wealth does not announce itself because it does not need belief. It already has gravity. Machiavelli understood that perception and reality are 2 separate economies. The masses trade in perception. They need to be seen winning. The elite trade in reality. They need only to own. When you speak about your plans, you invite interference, jealousy, sabotage, doubt, even from yourself. Silence is not secrecy. Silence is strategy. Every time you announce your next move, you give someone else the chance to countermove. Chess players do not narrate their strategy during the game. Neither do the wealthy. They arrange. They position. They execute. Then the world wakes up and calls it luck. Stop telling people what you are building. Let them see it when it is already too big to stop. The subscription button below this video is not loud, but it feeds you power every time I upload. Tap it. Quietly. There was a tech founder in 2008. I will not name him because he still operates in silence. While everyone was launching startups with press releases and beta hype, he built in private. No Twitter. No Medium articles. No thought leadership. For 2 years, nobody knew what he was creating. Then he sold it for $600 million to a company you use every day. His silence was not shyness. It was a moat. By the time competitors realized what he had, he was already bought. Already gone. already building the next ghost. You want speed. Stop performing wealth and start engineering it. Every post about your hustle is a leak in your energy. Every flex is a tax on your focus. The fastest way to wealth is to move like you are already there. And those who are already there do not explain themselves. Principle 2. Leverage is the only ladder. Effort is noble. Leverage is efficient. The Machiavellian does not ask how hard can I work. He asks how can I make this work without me. Money is not a reward for labor. It is a consequence of systems. If your wealth requires your constant presence, you do not have wealth. You have a high-paying prison. Machiavelli observed that princes did not plow fields. They controlled the men who controlled the fields. There was always a chain. And the man highest on the chain worked the least but ate the most. This is not unfair. This is structure. You can resent it or you can climb it. Look around. The wealthiest people you know do not trade time for money anymore. They traded time once to build a system. Now the system trades time for them. Authors write one book, earn for decades. Investors buy once, collect forever. Business owners hire once, scale endlessly. The pattern is always the same. Leverage. Comment below. What is one thing you are doing right now that only pays you when you are actively working? Be honest. Confession is the start of correction. You have been taught that hard work equals success. But no one ever showed you the men who worked themselves into the grave without a dime. Hard work is the entrance fee. Leverage is the vault. If you are still trading hours for dollars, you are not on the path to wealth. You are on the treadmill next to it. Find a way to duplicate yourself. Code can do it. Content can do it. People can do it. Money itself can do it. The moment you discover how to be in two places at once, economically speaking, you have cracked the first lock. Machiavelli would have called this hiring capable generals. Today we call it delegation, automation, investment. The word changes. The game does not. Principle 3. Proximity to power outweighs talent. You can be the smartest man in a room of ghosts and still starve. Talent without access is just decorated poverty. Machiavelli made this clear. It is better to be average in the king's court than brilliant in the village square. Power does not scout. Power selects from what is near. The fastest way to wealth is not to build from zero in isolation. It is to position yourself in the room where wealth already flows. Then let gravity do the work. Rivers do not create water. They direct it. You do not need to create opportunity. You need to stand where it already floods. This makes people uncomfortable. It sounds like cheating. Good. The comfortable stay poor. Proximity is not about manipulation. It is about intelligence. If you want to learn surgery, you stand in the operating room. If you want wealth, you stand near the wealthy. Not to beg, not to impress, to observe, to absorb, to offer value so specific they cannot ignore you. There was a young assistant in a London private equity firm. He had no MBA, no famous last name, but he did something no one else did. He studied the behavioral patterns of the partners. He learned who drank black coffee, who hated small talk, who read which newsletters. Within 6 months, he was indispensable. Not because of skill, because of positioning. He made himself the easiest person to say yes to. 3 years later, he was a partner. 5 years later, he launched his own fund seated by the same men. Proximity became parity. You are one conversation away from a completely different tax bracket. But that conversation will never happen in your comfort zone. It happens at the conference you think is too expensive. The dinner you feel underqualified for. The email you are too afraid to send. Talent is common. Access is rare. Machiavelli knew the prince's ear was worth more than the philosopher's library. If this is starting to rewire how you see money, subscribe. Because there are 5 more principles coming that will complete the picture. And you do not want to lose this thread. Principle 4. Create dependency, not just value. Value is subjective. Dependency is structural. If they can replace you, they will. If they need you, they will pay you. The Machiavellian does not just offer services. He becomes the hinge the door swings on. Remove him and the system collapses. That is not arrogance. That is job security at the highest level. Machiavelli advised princes to never let one general become too beloved by the army. Why? Because dependency should flow upward, not downward. The prince should be needed. The general should be useful. Useful can be replaced. Needed cannot. Apply this to your market position. If what you do can be done by someone cheaper, faster, or younger, you are not valuable. You are vulnerable. The goal is not to be good. The goal is to be necessary. This requires you to control a choke point, a relationship, a skill set, a piece of information, a distribution channel, something that without you, the machine stops. Think about software you cannot live without. You do not pay for it because it is nice. You pay because you are dependent. Your photos are there. Your workflows live there. Switching would cost you more than staying. That is Machiavellian pricing. The product is not the value. The dependency is. Now apply that to yourself. What do you control that others depend on? If the answer is nothing, you are still selling time. Start building dependency. Become the person who knows the client better than anyone. The one who holds the relationships. The one with the audience. The one with the system. Dependency is the difference between being hired and being retained. Comment this. What is one skill or relationship you have that people depend on? If you do not have one yet, say building. No shame. Only strategy. There was a freelance designer. Decent portfolio. Crowded market. She was getting outbid constantly. Then she shifted. Instead of offering design, she offered design plus client management plus copywriting plus strategy. She became the entire creative department for small startups. They did not hire her because she was the best designer. They hired her because firing her meant rebuilding 4 roles. She was not a freelancer anymore. She was infrastructure. Her rates tripled. Her clients stayed for years. Stop being replaceable. Start being required. Principle 5. Money flows toward certainty, not excitement. The masses chase hype. The wealthy chase predictability. Machiavelli wrote that men are won over more by consistency than by miracles. The same applies to capital. Investors do not fund your passion. They fund your pattern. Show me you can do something once. I am intrigued. Show me you can do it repeatedly. I am invested. Excitement is a spark. Certainty is a furnace. Sparks fade. Furnaces compound. If you want money fast, do not look for the exciting opportunity. Look for the boring, repeatable one that nobody wants to do. Staffing. Logistics. Maintenance contracts. Subscription box services. These are not sexy. They are sustainable. And sustainability attracts serious wealth. The error most people make is thinking wealth comes from a big win. It does not. It comes from a system of small, repeated wins that become inevitable. Machiavelli observed that fortresses are not held by one great battle. They are held by daily discipline. The same is true for your bank account. You know what the rich buy: dividends, royalties, recurring revenue, rental income, anything that pays again and again without a new sale. They are not looking for the next big thing. They are looking for the next reliable thing. Reliability at scale is wealth. Excitement at scale is exhaustion. If you are still chasing shiny objects, you will stay broke. Subscribe to this channel so that every time you feel the itch to chase, you come back here and get recentered. Algorithms reward consistency. So does the bank. There was an accountant in Texas. He could have gone into consulting, big contracts, exciting pitches. Instead, he built a tiny software that automates sales tax for e-commerce brands. Boring, mundane, solved a headache no one wants to think about. That boring tool now runs on 40,000 stores. It makes him $300,000 a month. He has not updated it in 2 years. It just works. Predictably. Silently. Profitably. The fastest way to rich is not the most exciting. It is the most certain. Find a problem people will always have. Solve it once. Repeat forever. Principle 6. Control the frame. Control the price. Pricing is not about cost. It is about belief. Machiavelli knew that perception shapes behavior more than reality does. A prince who appears strong is strong. A man who controls how he is perceived controls how he is paid. If you let the market set your price, you will always be underpaid. If you set the frame, you set the terms. The poor ask, what can I charge? The wealthy ask, what can I make them believe I am worth? This is not deception. This is framing. A bottle of water costs 50 cents in a supermarket and $5 in a hotel lobby. Same water. Different frame. The lobby does not apologize. Neither should you. You have been conditioned to feel guilty about pricing high. That guilt is a tax on your wealth. Remove it. Your price is not a reflection of your worth to God. It is a reflection of your position in the market. And position is something you craft. Luxury brands do not justify their prices. They simply exist at that level and let the market qualify itself. The customer who asks why it costs so much has already disqualified themselves. The customer who buys does not ask. They recognize the frame and step into it. You must do the same. Comment below. Have you ever undercharged because you were afraid of being rejected? Say yes or no. Let me see who is ready to reframe. There was a consultant who charged $100 an hour. Good rate. But he was always busy and never wealthy. Then he switched. He stopped selling hours. He started selling outcomes. Same work. Different frame. Now he charges $25,000 per project. The clients do not blink. Why? Because he is not selling time. He is selling certainty of result. The frame changed. The price followed. You do not have a pricing problem. You have a positioning problem. Stop explaining your cost. Start embodying your value. The frame is everything. Principle 7. Speed is a weapon. Hesitation is a tax. Machiavelli observed that the prince who waits for perfect conditions never acts. And the prince who never acts loses everything. Wealth does not reward the ready. It rewards the rapid. The market does not care about your preparation. It cares about your execution. The fastest way to rich is to collapse the gap between idea and action. Every day you wait is a day someone else launches. Every month you plan is a month someone else profits. Perfectionism is just fear wearing a diploma. You have been taught to be careful. But careful people do not get rich fast. Decisive people do. This does not mean reckless. It means resilient. Move quickly. Fail quickly. Adjust quickly. The cycle time between attempt and feedback is the variable that separates the wealthy from the wishful. Slow feedback means slow growth. Fast feedback means fast fortune. The people getting rich right now are not smarter than you. They simply started before you. And they started before they were ready. There is no perfect moment. There is only this moment and what you decide to do with it. There was a woman who wanted to start a candle business. She spent 2 years researching suppliers, wax types, branding, packaging, Instagram aesthetics. 2 years. When she finally launched, the market had moved. 3 competitors who started month 1 with ugly labels and mediocre wax had already captured the audience. They learned by doing. She learned by delay. Speed was the difference between founder and failure. If you have an idea you have been sitting on, this is your sign. The subscription button is right there. Hit it. Then go build the thing. Document the process. You will be shocked how much fortune favors the fast. Principle 8. Exploit chaos. Do not fear it. The masses panic during uncertainty. The Machiavellian buys during panic. Wealth is transferred, not created. And it is transferred fastest during chaos. War. Recession. Scandal. Crisis. These are not threats to the prepared. They are sales events. Machiavelli wrote that a wise prince never wastes a crisis. He uses it to reorganize power. The same applies to you. When everyone is fearful, assets are cheap. Talent is available. Competitors are retreating. This is not the time to hide. This is the time to hunt. Every recession mints new millionaires. Every market crash is a wealth reset. The question is, are you positioned to gain or positioned to lose? If your wealth is based on stability, you are fragile. If your wealth is based on adaptability, you are anti-fragile. Chaos does not hurt you. It feeds you. You do not need to cause the chaos. You just need to be ready when it comes. Cash in hand. Skills sharpened. Network active. The man who has reserves when others are desperate can name his price. This is not cruelty. This is preparation meeting opportunity. Comment now. What is one area of life or business where you see chaos coming? And are you preparing or pretending it will not touch you? There was an investor in 2008. Everyone was selling real estate. Panic everywhere. He was buying. Foreclosures. Short sales. Distressed properties. People thought he was insane. By 2015, his portfolio had quadrupled in value. He did not get lucky. He got ready. Then he got rich. Chaos was not his enemy. It was his entrance. If you are waiting for perfect conditions to build wealth, you have already lost. Perfect conditions mean perfect competition. Chaos means opportunity. Step into it. Principle 9. Your reputation is your currency. Spend it wisely. Machiavelli stated it clearly. It is better to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both. But more important than either is to be known. Obscurity is poverty with extra steps. You can have the best product, the sharpest mind, the hardest work ethic. If no one knows, no one pays. Reputation is not about being liked. It is about being recognized for something specific. The rich are not famous, but they are known in their lane. The decision makers know their name. That is enough. You do not need 1 million followers. You need 100 of the right people to take you seriously. But reputation is delicate. One lie can collapse decades. One shortcut can erase credibility. Machiavelli warned that appearing virtuous is more important than being virtuous. This is not about faking. This is about understanding that perception governs opportunity. If you are brilliant but abrasive, you will be avoided. If you are average but trusted, you will be called. Protect your name like it is the only asset you have. Because in the long run, it is. Wealth can be lost. Reputation, once destroyed, rarely returns. The Machiavellian builds his reputation with the care of a jeweler and the patience of a gardener. There was a lawyer who won every case but treated staff terribly. Brilliant, ruthless, effective. Within 5 years, no firm would hire him. His reputation preceded him. He now works alone, underpaid, overworked. His talent could not save him from his character. Contrast that with another lawyer. Decent win rate. Exceptional with people. He is now managing partner at a top firm. Reputation was the tiebreaker. Your character in private becomes your reputation in public. Guard it. Because the fastest way to wealth is through doors that only open for the trusted. If you have made it this far, you are no longer casual. You are committed. Subscribe now. Not tomorrow. Now. Because what comes next will challenge everything you thought you knew about money and morality. Now we arrive at the shadow principles. These are not taught. They are discovered. Machiavelli never put them plainly on paper. But they are there between the lines, waiting for the reader ruthless enough to see them. Shadow Principle 1. Appear generous, but give strategically. Generosity is a tool, not a virtue. The Machiavellian gives often, but never randomly. Every gift is a seed. Every favor is an investment. This does not make you cold. It makes you effective. The fool gives to feel good. The prince gives to create obligation. Machiavelli knew that people remember what you give them. But more importantly, they remember that they owe you. Debt is a chain. Even emotional debt. When you help someone at the right time, in the right way, you do not just earn gratitude. You earn leverage. This is not about manipulation. This is about clarity. If you are going to give your time, money, or energy, do it where it multiplies. Give to those who can give back. Not necessarily in kind, but in kind of opportunity. Access. Introduction. Reputation. The wealthy donate publicly and invest privately. The donation builds image. The investment builds wealth. Both matter, but only one compounds. Be generous where it counts. Be scarce where it does not. There was a founder who helped dozens of people. Gave free advice. Free intros. Free strategy. Most never returned the favor. But 3 did. 1 introduced him to a co-founder. 1 became his first investor. 1 wrote the tweet that went viral and launched his product. 3 out of 30. That is a 10% return on generosity. In venture capital, that is extraordinary. He did not help people blindly. He helped people who were building. The builders remembered. Give freely, but give with eyes open. Shadow Principle 2. Let others take credit, but keep the power. Ego is expensive. Credit is cheap. Let someone else be the face while you control the structure. Machiavelli understood that the visible are vulnerable. The one everyone praises is the one everyone watches. And eventually, everyone attacks. But the one behind the curtain runs the show without the spotlight. This is the difference between fame and fortune. Fame is loud and fragile. Fortune is quiet and durable. If your name is on everything, you become the target. If your hand is in everything, you become inevitable. Stop needing to be seen. Start needing to be essential. The person who takes credit gets applause. The person who holds the keys gets paid. You can have the recognition or the residuals. Choose wisely. There was a media company that exploded in 2016. The face of it was a charismatic host. Everyone knew his name. But behind him was a woman who owned the IP, the email list, the sponsor relationships. When the host left to start his own thing, he had nothing. No list. No leverage. She rebuilt with a new face in 6 months. He is still trying to recover. She understood the game. He only understood the stage. Let them have the stage. You keep the system. Shadow Principle 3. Build in public. Profit in private. The new wave is transparency. Build in public. Share your revenue. Show your struggles. This works for attention. But attention is not wealth. Wealth is built quietly after the cameras turn off. Use public visibility to create demand. Use private execution to capture value. The Machiavellian shows enough to attract, but never enough to replicate. He teaches principles, not processes. He shares the what, never the how. This makes him valuable and protected. If you give away everything, you become a free resource. Useful but not profitable. Give away enough to build trust. Withhold enough to create scarcity. Transparency is a brand strategy. Opacity is a wealth strategy. The masses will tell you to be authentic, vulnerable, open. Do that. But know where the line is. Authenticity builds connection. Mystery builds value. Master both. There was a creator who shared everything. Every tool. Every tactic. Every template. He had millions of followers. But when he launched a paid product, no one bought. Why would they? He had already given it all away. Compare that to another creator. Same niche. Shared lessons, not blueprints. When he launched, he did 6 figures in a weekend. He built in public. He sold in private. Show them the result. Sell them the road. Shadow Principle 4. Use time as a filter, not a resource. Poor people try to save time. Rich people spend time to test loyalty, discipline, and seriousness. Machiavelli advised princes to delay decisions just long enough to see who remains committed. Time reveals character. It separates the serious from the curious. If someone wants to work with you, make them wait. Not as a power play. As a filter. The ones who disappear were never serious. The ones who stay are worth your investment. This applies to hires, partnerships, clients, even friends. Urgency is often a disguise for desperation. The person rushing you is either unprepared or untrustworthy. The person willing to wait is confident. Confidence is what you want on your team. Do not rush into deals. Do not hire fast. Do not say yes to every opportunity. Let time do the work of elimination. What remains after patience is usually what you actually want. Comment below. Have you ever said yes too quickly and regretted it? Or waited and been grateful? Tell me which one taught you more. There was a startup that had 3 acquisition offers in 1 month. The founders were excited. The first offer pressured them to close in a week. Red flag. They waited. That buyer disappeared. The second offer was generous but vague. They asked questions. It fell apart. The third offer took 2 months to finalize. Thorough due diligence. Clear terms. That deal closed and made everyone wealthy. Time filtered out the pretenders. Patience is not passive. It is diagnostic. Shadow Principle 5. Never appear too hungry. Desperation repels wealth. Abundance attracts it. Even if you are broke, you must move like you have options. Machiavelli wrote that men despise those who are too eager to please. The same applies in business. If you need the deal too much, you lose negotiating power. If you are willing to walk away, you gain it. This is not about arrogance. This is about frame. The person who needs it less controls it more. Whether it is a job, a partnership, a sale, or a relationship, outcome independence is the ultimate leverage. Practice saying no, not to be difficult, but to remind yourself that you can. Every no you give makes your yes more valuable. Scarcity is not just about supply. It is about selectivity. The beggar chases. The king chooses. Move like a king even when your account says beggar. Market position is psychological before it is financial. There was a consultant who was hurting for clients. He got a lead. Low budget. Bad fit. High maintenance. Old him would have said yes. New him said no. 2 weeks later, a better client came. Better pay. Better fit. Longer contract. Saying no to the wrong thing made space for the right thing. Hunger blinds. Discipline attracts. Do not chase. Position. Let them come to you. If you are still here, you are different. Most will not finish this. Most will get distracted. But you are still here. That tells me something. You are ready. Subscribe and lock in. Because the final layer is the one that separates the student from the master. The transcendence principles. These are not about getting rich. These are about staying rich and becoming untouchable. Transcendence 1. Wealth is a test, not a trophy. Money does not change you. It reveals you. Machiavelli observed that power exposes a man's nature. The same is true for wealth. Give a fool gold and he becomes a loud fool. Give a wise man gold and he becomes a quiet kingdom. The fastest way to get rich is one game. Staying rich is another. Most who make it fast lose it faster. Why? Because they thought money was the finish line. It is not. It is the starting gun. Now the real test begins. Can you handle temptation? Can you delay gratification after you have already tasted it? Can you resist lifestyle inflation? Can you keep building when you no longer have to? These are the questions wealth asks. The Machiavellian knows that the first fortune is luck and leverage. The second fortune is character. If you do not have the discipline to sustain wealth, the universe will take it back and give it to someone who does. There was a boxer who made 50 million in his career. Broke within 3 years of retiring. Cars. Houses. Entourage. He thought money was the prize. It was just the test. He failed. Compare that to another athlete. Same earnings. Lived modestly. Invested quietly. Now worth 200 million. Same income. Different character. Wealth revealed who was ready and who was pretending. Get rich fast if you want, but build the character to keep it. Otherwise, you are just renting someone else's dream. Transcendence 2. The game never ends, so enjoy the repetition. There is no arrival, no final level. Machiavelli understood that the prince must always govern. There is no retirement from power. The same applies to wealth. The moment you stop playing, someone else takes your square. This terrifies some people. It liberates others. If the game never ends, then there is no pressure to finish. There is only the next move, the next quarter, the next deal. You are not trying to win. You are trying to stay and play. The wealthy do not burn out because they are not sprinting to a finish line. They are walking an infinite path. They pace themselves. They enjoy the system. They find satisfaction in repetition, in refinement, in the daily inch forward. If you are waiting to get rich so you can finally relax, you will be disappointed. Wealth does not end the game. It upgrades the board. New problems, bigger stakes, different players, but still a game. Learn to love the process, because the process is all there is. There was an entrepreneur who sold his company for 8 figures. He thought he would retire at 34. He lasted 6 months. Boredom ate him alive. He started another company, not because he needed money, because he needed motion. The game was not a means to an end. The game was the point. You will never be done. So stop trying to be. Start trying to enjoy it. Transcendence 3. Legacy is the only wealth that survives you. Machiavelli wrote for a prince who had been dead for years. Yet his words govern minds 5 centuries later. That is legacy. Your money will be spent. Your assets will be sold. But what you build into others, what you encode into systems, what you leave in writing, that survives. The fastest way to get rich is leverage and positioning. The fastest way to matter is legacy. And mattering, in the end, is the only wealth that cannot be taxed. This does not mean fame. It means impact. Did you teach someone to fish? Did you build something that outlives your attention span? Did you create a system that serves people long after you stop touching it? The Machiavellian thinks in generations, not quarters. He builds for his name to be whispered long after his breath stops. Not out of ego, out of inevitability. We all die. The question is, does your work die with you? There was a teacher in Philadelphia, never rich, modest salary, but she trained over 1,000 students in financial literacy. Those students taught their kids. Some started businesses. Some became investors. 30 years later, her methodology is still being used in 3 states. She died in 2011. Her work is still compounding. That is wealth the IRS cannot touch. Build something that does not need you to survive. That is when you have truly won. Transcendence 4. Freedom is the only point. Money is not the goal. Freedom is the ability to say no, to choose your time, to pick your people, to walk away from anything that does not serve you. Machiavelli valued autonomy above all. A prince who depends on others is not a prince. He is a hostage. Wealth without freedom is just a nicer cage. If you are rich but still controlled by clients, by boards, by obligations you resent, you have not won. You have just upgraded your chains. The Machiavellian builds toward optionality. The ability to do anything means you are not forced to do everything. That space, that breathing room, that is the prize. Do not build a business that you cannot leave. Do not build wealth that traps you. Build freedom. Then decide what to do with it. There was a developer who built a SaaS company to 7 figures annually. But he hated it. Hated the niche. Hated the customers. Hated logging in. He was rich and miserable. He sold it. Took less than it was worth just to get out. Then he built something smaller, simpler, that he loved. Made less money. Had more life. Freedom was the correction. Chase freedom. Money is just the tool to buy it. Transcendence 5. In the end, you are always enough. This will sound soft. It is not. It is the hardest truth in this entire script. You do not need wealth to be valuable. You are not incomplete without it. Machiavelli wrote about power, but he died in exile, poor, and forgotten by the very princes he advised. Yet his mind outlasted their gold. The pursuit of wealth is useful, but it is not your worth. You are not broken because you are not rich yet. You are not behind because someone else got there faster. You are on your path, and your path has different timing. The Machiavellian does not get rich to prove himself. He gets rich to free himself. There is no validation at the top, just a different view. You are enough now. Wealth will just give you different problems and better options. If you are watching this because you feel less than, stop. You are not. You are simply uninformed. And now you are informed. That changes everything. There was a man who spent 20 years chasing wealth to prove his father wrong. He made millions. His father still did not call. The money did not heal the wound. Therapy did. He realized he was chasing the wrong thing. Wealth became peaceful only after he stopped needing it to validate him. You are enough. Now go get rich anyway. Not to become someone, but to become free. We have reached the end. You now know what most will never seek. The Machiavellian money principles are not hidden because they are secret. They are hidden because they require a specific kind of person to apply them. Someone disciplined, strategic, willing to be misunderstood. If you watched until here, you are that person. Or you are becoming them. Subscribe so this is not the last time we speak. Share this with one person who is ready. Not everyone. Just one. The right one will know what to do with it. The game is old. The players are new. You are now in the arena. Move accordingly. Silence is strategy. Leverage is the ladder. Proximity is power. Dependency is wealth. Certainty beats excitement. Frame controls price. Speed is a weapon. Chaos is opportunity. Reputation is currency. And you, if you choose, are Machiavellian. Go build your empire. Quietly, quickly, ruthlessly kind, strategically generous, visibly valuable, privately wealthy. This is not the end of the lesson. It is the beginning of your execution. Comment below one principle you will apply this week. Just one. Speak it into existence. Then go make it real. The fastest way to get rich is now in your hands. What you do with it is no longer my responsibility. It is yours. Stay silent. Stay dangerous. Stay subscribed.